We have come with faith that Jesus can resolve issues we are having on the matter of education, matter of business, issue we are having with our spiritual life, issue that has to do with our physical life, issue that has to do with our marital life, issue that has to do with our financial life. So which means every one of us, we have one issue or the other that brought us here.
Nítorí a ní àwọn ọ̀ràn tí a fẹ́ kí Jésù yanjú. Àwọn ọ̀ràn bí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ wa, àwọn ọ̀ràn bí ọ̀rọ̀ nípa ti ẹ̀mí, àwọn ọ̀ràn nípa ìgbéyàwó, àwọn ọ̀ràn nípa ìtẹ̀síwájú àbí nípa okòwò wa. A mọ̀ pé Jésù lè ṣe wọ́n la parapọ̀ sí orí òkè ìyanu yìí.
But in this passage we read, it was recorded that multitude was there with Jesus.
Nínú ìtàn tá a kà yìí, a rí àkọọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ pé ọ̀gọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn ni wọ́n wà ní ọ̀dọ̀ Jésù.
Jesus, during his where you see him, was always a record of multitude of people around him.
Jésù nígbà iṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ rẹ̀ lórí ayé ni a ní àkọọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ wípé ní ibikíbi tí ó bá wà ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn máa ń wà ní àyíká rẹ̀.
But it is quite unfortunate that only one person received the healing from Jesus out of the multitude.
Àmọ́ ó ṣeni láàánú pé ẹnìkan péré ni ó gba ìwòsàn láàrin ọ̀gọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn wọ̀nyí.
Why? Because there is this common act of foolishness that is being displayed by people today, and that is taking the presence of Jesus for granted.
Eléyìí wá sọ lórí ìwà òmùgọ̀ tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ máa ń wù nígbà tá a bá wà náà ẹ̀ka Jésù. Ìwà náà ni pé a máa ń fi ìwà láàyè àbí ìfarahàn rẹ̀ à ń fi ṣeré.
Even when people had the opportunity of being in the presence of Jesus, we are still fond of taking that presence of Jesus for granted. And that's why people will come around Jesus, a man who can do all things. He has the power, he has the capacity to perform miracles upon our lives immediately. Yet, people will come around him and they will leave his presence without a testimony of miracle. All because we love taking the presence of Jesus for granted.
Nígbà tí a bá wà síwájú rẹ̀, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà la máa ń fi ìwà láàyè rẹ̀ ṣeré. A máa fi ṣeré bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé a ò mọ̀ wípé ó ní agbára láti ṣiṣẹ́ ìwòsàn, láti ṣiṣẹ́ ìdáǹdè inú ayé wa. Ìyà máa jẹ́ kí àwọn ènìyàn kí wọ́n ṣeré kúrò, kán ṣáku ọkàn kúrò ní ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ débi pé wọn ò kí rí ìyanu tí ó tọ́ sí ayé wọn gbà nígbà tí wọ́n wà níwájú Jésù.
Because of that, several people miss their encounter.
Nítorí èyí, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ènìyàn ni wọ́n máa ń sọ ìbápàdé wọn nù.
Encounter that will have launched them into endless joy and divine blessing, they miss it all because they take the presence of Jesus for granted.
Àwọn ìbápàdé tí ìbá ti mú àgbà ìyanu àti ìbùkún ńlá wọnú ayé wọn, àwọn ènìyàn máa sọnù nítorí pé wọ́n fi ìwà láàyè Jésù ṣeré.
Anytime men take the presence of the Almighty for granted, most especially in a place like this, in a covenant grant like this, they miss their miracles, they miss their blessings, they miss their healing, they miss their deliverance, because the presence of Jesus will not do good to anyone who has taken it for granted.
Ìgbàkígbà tí àwọn èèyàn bá ti fi ọwọ́ yẹpẹrẹ mú ìwà láàyè Jésù ní bí nírú pàgọ́ báyìí, wọ́n á máa sọ ìwòsàn nù, wọ́n á máa sọ ìbùkún nù, wọ́n á máa sọ ìrànlọ́wọ́ nù, wọ́n á máa sọ ìdáǹdè nù nítorí pé wọ́n fi ọwọ́ yẹpẹrẹ mú ìwà láàyè àti ọwọ́ agbára tí ìbá fi hàn nínú ayé wọn.
In this passage, every other person was so casual about coming around Jesus.
Nínú ibi tí a kà yìí, gbogbo olúkúlùkù ènìyàn tí ó kù ni ó fọwọ́ ẹran ara mú wíwà ní àyíká Jésù.
Majority of them were celebrating being amongst the crowd.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn nínú wọn dùn pé wọ́n wà láàrin ọ̀gọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà láyìíká Jésù.
Majority of them were shouting that they come around Jesus and they find multitude around him.
Ìgbẹ́ làwọn kan tiẹ̀ ń ké pé èmi náà wà láyìíká Jésù pẹ̀lú àwọn ọ̀gọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n wà ní ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀.
Peter said, you can see how people were throwing themselves upon you. You know, you can imagine that people were falling on Jesus. They were throwing themselves upon him, yet nothing happened in their life, or except a woman who was so deliberate about coming around Jesus, and he touched the hem of his garment.
Pétérù tiẹ̀ wípé Jésù orí bí àwọn èèyàn ti ń bìlú ọní tó tún sọ ọ̀rọ̀ wọ̀nyí. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ènìyàn ni wọ́n wà ní ẹ̀ka Jésù tí wọ́n ń bìlú lọ́tún àti lósì. Àmọ́ obìnrin kan péré òun nìkan ní iye rẹ̀ ṣí tí ó rí ìdáǹdè ìwòsàn tí ayé rẹ̀ nílò gbà láàrin ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ ènìyàn.
So which means if care is not taken, as we have Jesus in our midst tonight, some of us, we may just be falling on Jesus, throwing ourselves on Jesus, and at the end of the day, you will not have a particular thing that Jesus have done in your life, all because you have not actually been deliberate about coming around Jesus Christ, and you are taking his presence for granted.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ó ṣeé ṣe bí a ti pọ̀ níbí nírọ̀lẹ́ yìí pé kí a rí àwọn ẹnìkan tí wọ́n lè má rí ojú rere Jésù, tí wọ́n lè má rí àánú rẹ̀ gbà, àmọ́ tí wọ́n kàn ń bìlú lọ́tún tí wọ́n ń bìlú lósì nítorí pé ìwà láàyè àti ọwọ́ agbára rẹ̀ wọ́n fi ojú tẹ́ḿbẹ́lú àti ọwọ́ yẹpẹrẹ mú nínú ìpàgọ́ yìí.
And it is possible for you to take the presence of Jesus for granted if no issues has brought you here, or you have forgotten that a particular issue of your life brought you to the presence of Jesus in this meeting.
Ó sì ṣeé ṣe kí o máa bìlú Jésù torí pé kò sí nǹkan kan pàtó tó mú ọ wá síwájú rẹ̀ àbíkẹ́ bóyá nǹkan tó mú ọ wá kò ṣe iyebíye lójú rẹ pé kí Jésù kí o nawọ́ rẹ̀ sí i.
But this woman, she knew that one particular issue of her life brought her to Jesus.
Àmọ́ obìnrin yìí ó mọ̀ wípé nǹkan kan gbòógì nínú ayé rẹ̀ òun ló mú wá síwájú Jésù.
As a result, while others were playing, she was just targeting how she will touch the hem of his garment.
Bí ó ti rí i nì, bí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ti ń ṣeré ní àyíká Jésù, ṣe lòun ń làkàkà bí ó ti fọkàn ìṣẹ́tí aṣọ rẹ̀.
While others were joking, she was so focused.
Ìgbà táwọn kan ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́, òun ní àfojúsùn.
While others were casting joke, she was so focused.
Ibi táwọn kan ti ń ṣe àwàdà, òun ní àfojúsùn.
While others were playing around, this woman, she was just praying within herself, how I wish that Lord will grant me an opportunity to touch the hem of his garment.
Ibi táwọn kan ti ń ṣeré káàkiri ní ẹ̀ka Jésù, obìnrin yìí ṣe ní finú gbàdúrà pé ń bá máa lérí orí ọ̀fẹ́ kí nǹkan lè fi ọwọ́ kan ìṣẹ́tí aṣọ rẹ̀.
She was serious about the matter that brought her.
Ó ká lára dáadáa.
She was serious about her life.
Ọ̀rọ̀ ayé rẹ̀ ká lára.
Because right before she left home,
Torí pé kó tó kú nílé,
there are three major things she has made up her mind to do.
àwọn nǹkan mẹ́ta pàtàkì ló ti pín nínú ọkàn rẹ̀ láti ṣe.
She was not just coming to Jesus casually like that.
Kì í ṣe pé kàn wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ Jésù bẹ́ẹ̀ lásán.
She was not just coming to Jesus because a friend said, let us go and meet
Kì í ṣe
Jesus.
pé ó wá sọ́dọ̀ Jésù torí pé ọ̀rẹ́ kan wípé yà á lọ síbẹ̀.
She was not there on any other person's conviction. She was not there on another person's persuasion. She was there on a personal conviction.
Kò sí ń bẹ̀ torí pé ẹnìkan gbà á níyànjú. Kò sí ń bẹ̀ torí pé ẹnìkan fi ọdún fà á. Àmọ́ ó wà ń bẹ̀ nítorí ìpinnu ọkàn ara rẹ̀.
So she came to Jesus with a purposeful mind.
Nítorí náà ó wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ Jésù pẹ̀lú ọkàn tó ní èrè ìdí pàtàkì.
She came with a purposeful mind.
Ó wá pẹ̀lú ọkàn tó ní èrè ìdí pàtàkì.
right from home, she resolved going to meet Jesus with my problem, the issues of blood that lasted for 20 years. But she made up her mind, I am not going to return with that issue. Miracle must come back with me.
And
that's why I am persuaded in my spirit that any of us who have purposefully come to Jesus in this meeting with a particular issues in his or her life, I'm also believe and I'm persuaded in my spirit that you are not going to return with that issue that you brought. Rather, you are going back with miracles.
Amen.
Not only that she was purposeful, also she was deliberate. So deliberate about her coming to Jesus. There was no time for her to waste. There was no time for her to entertain anybody who is not serious about his life. So she was so deliberate in her coming to Jesus. She made up her mind. She could envision how a miracle will happen. And she said, I am going to him. I am going to meet him. People may not allow me to come closer all because of my problem, but I have made up my mind. All I will just do is to toss the hem of his garment unknowing to anybody.
Láti súnmọ́ dọ̀ rẹ̀ nítorí àbùkù àti àìsàn ara mi àmọ́ kìkì pé bí n bá lè làkàkà kí n fọwọ́ kan iṣẹ́ tí aṣọ rẹ̀. She knew she may not be able to secure the attention of Peter to introduce him to Jesus. Ó mọ̀ pé òun lè má lè rí ojú Pétérù ńlẹ̀ láti lè ṣe àfihàn rẹ̀ fún Jésù.
She may not be able to convince any other disciple to bring her to Jesus.
Ó lè má lè sọ̀rọ̀ àwíyé fún ọmọ ẹ̀yìn kọ́mẹ̀yìn tó bá kù láti mú lọ sọ́dọ̀ Jésù.
But to her, all of that, they were not hindrance for her to get a miracle.
Àmọ́ fún obìnrin yìí gbogbo kan wọ̀nyí kéré láti lè jẹ́ ìdènà fún
Will I
láti dọ́dọ̀
tell you
Jésù.
tonight, there is no hindrance before you to get your miracle except you are not deliberate about coming to meet Jesus in this meeting.
Ó ní mò ń sọ fún ọ pé kò sí ìdènà kankan fún ọ láti rí Jésù bó o bá mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ pinnu láti wá rí nínú gbọ̀ngàn yìí.
Nothing hindrance is standing before you.
Kò sí ìdènà kankan tó dúró níwájú rẹ.
The power of God is on this ground.
Agbára Ọlọ́run bẹ ní orí ilẹ̀ yìí.
The anointing of the Holy Ghost is on this ground.
Ìfòróróyìn ẹ̀mí mímọ́ bẹ lórí ilẹ̀ yìí.
The angels of the Lord, they are more than the number of human beings on this ground.
Àwọn áńgẹ́lì Ọlọ́run pọ̀ ní iye tá a kò lè kà láti ṣèyá lórí ilẹ̀ yìí.
Anywhere you stand, there is possibility of getting your miracle from Jesus.
Ibikíbi tó o bá dúró ní agbára Ọlọ́run wà láti rí ìwòsàn rẹ gbà.
Except you are not deliberate about your coming.
Àyàfi tó o bá ní ìpinnu ìmọ̀ọ́mọ̀
This
láti wá.
woman, she was deliberate for coming to Jesus.
Arábìnrin yìí ó ní ìpinnu láti wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ Jésù.
Deliberate and so desperate.
Ó mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ ó sì sa gbogbo ipá pé ohun tó bá gbà
She
yóò
made up
ná
her mind
láti tọ̀ Jésù wá.
that the issue I brought, I'm not taking it back.
Pé ohun tó mú mi wá bí mi ní dá padà lọlé mọ́.
And I speak to somebody who is here with a deliberate heart to meet the Lord.
Mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ fún ẹnìkan tó wà ń bí tó mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ láti pàdé Jésù.
A sister with a deliberate heart.
Arábìnrin pẹ̀lú ọkàn ìmọ̀ọ́mọ̀.
A brother with a deliberate heart.
Arákùnrin pẹ̀lú ọkàn ìmọ̀ọ́mọ̀.
I don't need to know the issue that brought you.
Mi ò fẹ́ mọ ohun tó yọ wá.
But I know what the power of God can do.
Àmọ́ mo mọ ohun tí agbára Ọlọ́run lè ṣe.
You are not returning with that issue.
Ó padà pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ mọ́.
Miracles will go here from you.
Àwọn iṣẹ́ ìyanu yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ayé yín.
You will go with miracles.
Ó padà lọlé pẹ̀lú ìyanu.
How do I know?
Bó ni mo ṣe mọ̀?
There is no issue that is so big before Jesus that he cannot settle.
Kò sí ohun tí ó ga àbí tó lágbára níwájú Jésù tí kò lè yanjú
He
rẹ̀.
specializes on impossibilities.
Ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ pàtàkì lórí ohun tí ó máa ṣe.
He can settle issues of family background.
Ó lè yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ àṣìṣe ìpìlẹ̀ nínú
He
ìdílé.
can resolve issue of marriage.
Ó lè yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ ìgbéyàwó.
He can resolve issue of finances.
Ó lè yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣúná owó.
He can resolve that issue that is affecting your health.
Ó lè yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń bá ìlera rẹ̀ jà.
So whatever issue you have brought to him,
Ohunkóhun ìbáwù kó gbé wá síwájú rẹ̀.
there is power with him
Agbára ń bẹ pẹ̀lú rẹ̀.
for him to resolve the issue of your life.
Fún láti yanjú ìṣòro ayé rẹ̀.
If only you can be deliberate about your coming to him like this woman.
Lórí pé bó bá lè mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ wá síwájú rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí arábìnrin yìí.
The third thing that this woman did that challenged me,
Ohun kẹta tí obìnrin yìí ṣe.
she was intentional about her coming.
Ó ní ìpinnu ní mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ ṣe láti wá síwájú rẹ̀.
She didn't come to Jesus as somebody who didn't know where she was going.
Kò lọ sọ́dọ̀ Jésù gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí kò mọ ibi tí ó ń lọ.
She was intentional.
Ó ní ẹ̀mí mọ̀ọ́mọ̀.
So if anybody meets her on the road and said, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" He has already made answer.
Bí ẹnikẹ́ni bá pàdé rẹ̀ tó sọ pé níbo ló ń lọ kí ló fẹ́ lọ ṣe ó ní ìdáhùn ní ọwọ́ rẹ̀.
And if you ask her further,
Tó bá tún padà bèrè lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀.
can't you see there are multitudes around Jesus?
Orí ni pé ọ̀gọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ ń bẹ ní àyíká Jésù.
What convinced you that Jesus is going to attend to you?
Kí ló fún ẹ ní ìdánilójú pé Jésù yóò dá ọ lóhùn?
One thing that challenged me was that this woman, she has answered to every question that anyone may want to raise about her coming to Jesus.
Ohun kan tó jẹ́ ìpèníjà mi ni pé gbogbo ìbéèrè kí béèrè tí ẹnikẹ́ni bá lè béèrè lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ pé ó ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ Jésù ló ti dáhùn.
The woman said,
Ó wí pé
she may be easy to lay hands on me.
ó ṣeé ṣe kó jẹ́ pé iṣẹ́ kún un lọ́wọ́ kó má lè dáwọ́lé mi.
So I am not looking for that.
Mi ò wá ìgbọ́wọ́lé lórí.
She may be too busy to anoint my head.
Ó ṣeé ṣe kí iṣẹ́ kún un lọ́wọ́ kó má lè tú òróró lé mi lórí.
I am not there for that.
Irọ́, mi ò fẹ́ yẹn.
But one thing I know
Ohun tí mo mọ̀,
is that
Only
his presence
ìwàláyé rẹ̀,
personifies miracles.
ó ń túmọ̀ sí ìyanu.
So, and he said, all I am going to do
Ohun kan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe,
is to touch the hem of his garment.
ó ní àti fọwọ́ kan ìṣẹ́tí aṣọ rẹ̀.
And when she did that,
Ìgbà tó ti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀,
Jesus said,
Jésù wí pé
someone touched me.
ẹnìkan fọwọ́ kàn mí.
And do you know the purpose of this gathering?
Ǹjẹ́ o mọ èrèdí ìpéjọpọ̀ yìí?
Why Jesus was here in our midst?
Ìdí tí Jésù fi ń bẹ láàrin wa
Why
níbí.
Jesus is here in our midst?
Ìdí tí Jésù fi ń bẹ láàrin wa níbí.
Why we have his presence here?
Ìdí tá a fi ní ìwà láàyè rẹ̀ ń bí.
It's not for everybody to touch him.
Kì í ṣe fún gbogbo èèyàn láti fọwọ́ kàn.
But Jesus is looking for one person.
Ṣùgbọ́n Jésù ń wá ẹnìkan ṣoṣo.
Jesus is looking for a sister.
Jésù ń wá arábìnrin kan ṣoṣo.
Jesus is looking for a brother.
Jésù ń wá arákùnrin kan ṣoṣo.
Not
Kì
everybody.
í ṣe gbogbo ènìyàn.
Just one person
Ènìyàn kan péré.
who is purposeful about her coming.
Ẹni tó ní ìpinnu nípa
Who
wíwá
is
rẹ̀.
deliberate about his coming.
Tó ní ìmọ̀ọ́mọ̀ nípa wíwá
Who
rẹ̀.
is intentional about his
Tó
coming.
ní ìpinnu ọkàn nípa wíwá
And
rẹ̀.
that will touch Jesus.
Tó sì máa fọwọ́ kan Jésù.
Because the condition for miracle,
Nítorí pé ọ̀nà ohun ìgbékalẹ̀ fún ìyanu.
the condition for healing,
Ohun àmúyẹ fún ìwòsàn.
the condition for victory,
Ohun àmúyẹ fún ìṣẹ́gun.
the condition for deliverance,
Àmúyẹ fún ìtúsílẹ̀.
the condition for blessing,
Àmúyẹ fún ìbùkún.
the condition for healing.
Àmúyẹ fún ìwòsàn.
In this
Nínú
conference
ìpàgọ́ yìí,
is to touch Jesus.
o ní láti fọwọ́ kan Jésù.
Tell somebody that's the condition for your miracle.
Sọ fún èèyàn kan pé àmúyẹ fún ìyanu rẹ nìyẹn.
Make sure you touch Jesus.
Di pé o fọwọ́ kan Jésù.
Are you saying to that person?
Ṣé òun sọ fẹ́ nìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀?
That's the condition.
Àmúyẹ òun nìyẹn.
Only that woman
Obìnrin yẹn nìkan ṣoṣo.
met the heavenly condition for miracle.
Òun nìkan ló bá àmúyẹ fún ìwòsàn pàdé.
She broke all the protocols.
Gbogbo àlàkalẹ̀ ènìyàn ló fò kọjá.
She moved toward Jesus
Ó lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ Jésù.
and she got a miracle.
Ó sì rí ìwòsàn rẹ̀ gbà.
Your miracle is here.
Ìyanu rẹ̀ ń bẹ níbí.
Your healing is here.
Ìwòsàn rẹ̀ ń bẹ níbí yìí.
Because the miracle worker is here.
Nítorí pé oníṣẹ́ ìyanu ń bẹ níbí yìí.
The great physician is here.
Oníṣègùn ńlá ń bẹ níbí yìí.
The mighty God is here.
Ọlọ́run alágbára ń bẹ níbí yìí.
God of our fathers is here.
Ọlọ́run àwọn bàbá wa ń bẹ níbí yìí.
If only you can meet this divine condition.
Kìkì pé kí o lè ṣe kó ní àmúyẹ àtọ̀runwá yìí.
Are you not challenged?
Ó bá ìpèníjà ni.
The multitude were following Jesus.
Pé ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ ènìyàn ló ń tẹ̀lé Jésù.
And there was only a record of one single soul.
Pé àkọsílẹ̀ ọkàn kan ṣoṣo nìkan la ní.
That got a healing.
Tí ó gba ìwòsàn rẹ̀.
Jesus said,
Jésù wípé
someone touched me.
ẹnìkan fọwọ́ kàn mí.
And when the disciples, they wanted to be debating that.
Ìgbà tí àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀yìn fẹ́ máa ṣe àpérò lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí.
My master said,
Ọ̀gá mi wípé
virtue came out of my body.
ìṣúra jáde lára mi.
Power has gone out of my body.
Agbára ti jáde lára mi.
Somebody draw it.
Ènìyàn kan fà á.
Somebody connected it.
Ènìyàn kan so papọ̀ mọ́.
Are you? Who is going to be
Ta lẹni
the
náà
person tonight?
tó máa fọwọ́ kan iṣẹ́ tí aṣọ yẹn.
Jesus is not talking to the crowd tonight.
Jésù ò bá ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ ènìyàn sọ̀rọ̀ lálẹ́ yìí.
His focus is not the multitude.
Àfojúsùn rẹ̀ kò sí lórí ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ ènìyàn.
You remember the day of that blind Bartimaeus?
Ẹ rántí ọjọ́ ọkùnrin Bátílómẹ́ù afọ́jú yẹn.
That Jesus was walking, coming from Jericho.
Tí Jésù ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ láti Jẹ́ríkò.
And great multitude were following him.
Ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ ènìyàn sì ń tọ̀ lẹ́yìn.
But none of them
Àmọ́ kò sí nínú wọn.
could make Jesus to stop.
Ló lè mú kí Jésù ó dúró.
Except a man, a blind man,
Yàtọ̀ sí arákùnrin kan afọ́jú
who could not see.
tí kò lè ríran.
But that very day,
Àmọ́ lọ́jọ́ náà,
he heard
ó gbọ́.
that the sound of people walking on that
Ó
road
gbọ́ ìró ẹsẹ̀ àwọn ènìyàn tó rìn ní ojú ọ̀nà náà.
was so unusual.
Kò wọ́pọ̀ kó máa gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
And he made a request.
Wọ́n sì béèrè wípé
What was happening
kí ló
today?
ṣẹlẹ̀ níbí.
And they said to him
Wọ́n sọ fún un
that Jesus of Nazareth is the one
pé
passing.
Jésù Kristi ti Násárẹ́tì ló ń kọjá lọ.
And something jumped up in his spirit.
Kíní kan sì fò sókè nínú ẹ̀mí rẹ̀.
And he said to himself,
Ó sọ fún ara rẹ̀ wípé
today is my day.
pé òní lọ́jọ́ tèmi.
And he started shouting.
Ó sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kígbe.
He started shouting.
Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kígbe.
And Jesus heard him.
Jésù sì gbọ́.
Are you the person that Jesus is going to hear in this meeting?
Ṣé ìwọ lẹni náà tí Jésù yóò gbọ́ igbe rẹ̀ lónìí?
While others were telling him, were shouting him down.
Nígbà táwọn kan pa lẹ́nu mọ́.
The Bible says, and he cried the more.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé ó sì kígbe sókè sí i.
Until my master said,
Títí dìgbà tó Olúwa mi wípé
I can't continue because somebody was ready for miracle.
mi ní lè tẹ̀síwájú torí pé ẹnìkan ṣetán fún ìyanu.
And Jesus said, go and call him.
Jésù wípé ẹ lọ pè é wá.
And they brought him to
Wọ́n wá
Jesus.
sọ́dọ̀ Jésù.
And Jesus asked him, what will I do for you? He
Jésù bí kí ni kí èmi kí ó ṣe fún ọ.
said, sir,
Sà,
I want to see.
mo kí èmi kí ó ríran.
And right from that moment,
Lójú ẹsẹ̀ lọ́gán,
he began to see.
ó sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ríran.
How many of you believe that your issue can be settled in this meeting?
Mélòó nínú yín ló gbàgbọ́ wípé ọ̀rọ̀ yín yóò ní ojútùú sí lónìí?
You must be purposeful about it.
O ní láti ní èrèdí pàtàkì lórí rẹ̀.
Be deliberate about it.
O ní láti mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ nípa rẹ̀.
You must be intentional
O ní
about
láti
it.
ní ìpinnu pàtàkì lé lórí.
So when praying, you
Bí a-
must be praying because there is an issue that must be settled.
Tá a bá ti ń gbàdúrà, o ní láti gbàdúrà nítorí pé òun wà tá a fẹ́ yanjú. Jésù lè rí
A serious soul,
àwọn tí ó múra tán,
a ready soul,
àwọn tí ó ṣe tán,
a soul that was determined
ọkàn tí ó ní ìpinnu
to return with miracle.
láti padà lọlé pẹ̀lú ìyanu.
Can we find that soul here?
Ǹjẹ́ a lè rí irú ọkàn bẹ́ẹ̀ níbí?
If you are the one, can you stand to your feet?
Tó bá jẹ́ pé ìwọ lẹni náà,